right, well, here we are. We're outside of the file cabinet, and we're going to go over now to the global menu, which is right here on the top left. Okay, so the first thing is the frequently asked questions. There are a lot of questions that people ask us about this, so read this. It's important to read it, and I think you'll get something out of it. Now we're going to go to the audio setup. Now with NYA, you're going to have the ability to play back master quality audio out of your computer. But to hear it, there's a lot of things that you can do. You can use this to drive your stereo system. You can use it to drive your earphones. You can use it with a DAC. That's all in here in the audio setup. So we're going to go back now. I urge you to read that. The NYA news. This is going to be changing all the time. It'll have our views on things that are happening. It's a way that I can stay in touch with you and that you can tell what I'm doing and what I believe is happening in the world and how we all feel about what's going on in the world. We can talk about those things here. So now we're going to go back, and now we go to a place called the timeline. So right now we're in 1961, it looks like, or 1960. And you can see all the months going by and everything. And here's a control device. That's it. And I can use it to go in and out and go through the archives and see what's happening. So here we are. Let's stop right here, 1963. Here's a record. It's the Sultan backed with Aurora. It's my first record ever of 1963. So let's look at the info card for the Sultan. And there it is right there. Look inside each one. Here's some photos. What are these photos? Well, that's Alan Bates there in the middle and Neil Young on the left and Ken Copeland sitting on the couch in the background. So there's two guitar players and a bass player right there. Okay, so here we go. We're finished with photos. Let's go into documents. What do we have here? All right. Okay, so this is the Sultan. June 1st, 1963. This is, okay, an address. I sent this to myself. I sent the letter to myself. That's what it is. I sent the music to myself to copyright it, okay? So now we're going to go back where we were. All right, so here we have a video. Okay, opening the copyright letter. Very interesting. Okay, Neil opens the letter he mailed to himself.
This is September 8th, 2004. And this was mailed in 1963.
Now that we've looked at the documents, the photos, and watched the video, why don't we listen to the music? So I'm pressing this, and I pressed the start. Now you can see the spinning 45 RPM adapter. This is the amount of data that's being used to play back this song in any given second during the playback. This shows you that because this whole window is green, that means that you're getting, because of your bandwidth is good enough right now, we're getting it all. So we're getting everything. There's no way that you can have more data, no matter what you have, a Blu-ray, a high-resolution file, anything. You're not going to hear any more than what you're hearing right here on this archive, right here from that. So this is the song going by. This is what it looks like. This is our controls. This is, if I wanted to pause it, I pause it. I want to explain this toggle switch. Obviously, I like listening to master quality because it's what I created. Sometimes with NYA and your computer, you may not be able to get enough bandwidth and your songs may start and stop, in which case you should just switch to 320 like I just did. And then it should be as good as Spotify or anything else. It should just be pretty constantly there, but not sound very good. Let's look at the timeline a little more. We played a song, but now down at the bottom here, maybe we want to go see what's happening in 1968. So I just press that button now. Here's Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. Let's check that out. It's right here. There it is. Bang. View tracks. View what we got. Here's Cinnamon Girl. There it goes. Here's the song. Here's the albums. This was on a lot of albums. Greatest Hits, Decade, Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. And here's an Archives, and this is what was on that Archives disc 4. Had a bunch of songs on it from that period. And there's Cinnamon Girl right there. And moving the cursor off and clicking it, bang, closes. On top, it opens again. So you can look at any one of the albums. You can go in and see what's on that album. You can look at the album cover if you want to. There's a lot of stuff in there. You can zoom in and zoom out on different parts of the album cover. So it shows you what we did when we had enough room to have art. And now we're going back to the filing cabinet, and then we can get back to home. Now we're going over here. Look at this. It's a keyhole. There's a little keyhole here. There it is. Okay, so you want to search. That's the keyhole for searching. Press on that, and you get this. You right here, Heart of Gold. I hope it's in there. Okay, there it is. This is all the albums it was on. This is Jonathan Demme's film, Heart of Gold. This is Harvest the album, Heart of Gold. This is the Archives, Volume 1, Disc 7, live at Massey Hall, Heart of Gold. Here it is on the Archives, another version of it. And so here's the single from Harvest. Now this one you can buy. There's a button right here. What happens if we go there? Where do we go? Pretty easy to buy at Amazon. That's why we put Amazon in there, but you can buy it anywhere you want. This is a different thing. If you want to open this up now, finally, by pressing on it. There it is. Okay, so this is the file cabinet. We were just listening to the Sultan. It's right there. I'm just using my fingers to go through the years with this. And you can also go over here and look over here. Here's 1972. There it is. Now we're in 1972. These are the songs. There it is. War song, a record, was a single. Now if you want to just cruise around, you can enter a different day, you know. So let's move it this way a little bit and see what happens. For the turnstiles, this happened like 12:14. So this is chronological. This is Time Fades Away, Journey Through the Past. We're just skimming by hitting the buttons here on either side, back and forth through the info cards. Now if we want, and we're on a song here, we can go to the cabinet. So here we are back at the cabinet. Now we can go to the timeline. Here's the info card for Time Fades Away. The timeline showing there's the album. Okay, I'm down here. I'm going to press on 80. Here we go, 80. Okay. All right, so was Live Rust. There's the songs on Live Rust. And here's After the Gold Rush from Live Rust. That's the info card. That's the album it's on. It's because it's a live version. It's the only one that it's on. There's other versions of After the Gold Rush, but they're not this version. So that's why it's not a bunch of albums here. There's only one. You can go to the timeline, check it out. Live Rust is a live record, and here it is here. And here's all the songs and the recording dates of every one of these. The ones in blue. So let's see what these other ones are. Oh, that was on Rust Never Sleeps. It didn't go to Live Rust. Here's one here, The Loner, that went to Live Rust. But they were recorded basically on this. This was recorded on the same day, and these were so. And if you want to listen to it, you can. You can listen to anything. You want to look at the timeline. I like looking at the timeline. Zoom out so you can see all the records. Then, as you can tell, it goes quite a long ways. We can go all the way through here. This is a movie. What's this? The Complex Sessions, directed by Jonathan Demme in 1995. So here we are. We're back at the archives. This is how you get around. So you just go around this whole thing, and don't forget to have a good time, and try not to get lost.